Always nice to see companies being held to account for their wrongdoing. A year on from initiating action against Snaffle, this week's Asic media release confirms that the federal court has just dropped a massive $33.5 million penalty on Snaffle's owners, Walker Stores. They were a consumer leasing business pushing electronics and furniture with their catchy little bite-sized payment slogan. Well, the federal court has just taken a massive bite out of them. The court found they were artificially inflating the cash price of their products as a way to get around the legal cap on leasing fees. They were basically burying hidden charges to gouge vulnerable customers. They also completely flouted the requirements to tell customers when their contracts were ending, so they just kept on charging direct debits on expired leases. They racked up over $16.8 million in overpayments. They probably picked up this idea from the big four banks charging on deceased estates. So the punishment, $33.5 million fine plus $2 million in remediation plus Asic costs. Unfortunately for Asic, the company is in liquidation, so it is highly unlikely that they'll actually see any of this cash, while the consumers who are taken advantage of sit at the very bottom of the creditors' ranking and certainly won't be holding their breath expecting any compensation. Now look, catching a company preying on everyday Aussies is brilliant. Always nice to see companies being held to account. But looking at these numbers, and I have to ask, the crime of overcharging was roughly $16.8 million and the penalty is $33.5 million. So they've doubled the amount of the crime. Don't get me wrong, Snaffle deserves to be dragged over the coals. But it got me thinking, do you think we can treat the government the same way and penalise them for overcharging taxpayers for services? Think about it. The government charges us for roads that don't get fixed, for submarines that haven't been built, and for centralised IT systems that routinely fail and get hacked. What if we could apply the Snaffle standard to Canberra? If a department blows its budget by $100 million on a consultancy fee, what if we could fine them $200 million? Maybe then we wouldn't have 41,000 new public servants since 2022 sitting in the ACT while the Silver City Highway falls to pieces. I'm glad Snaffle got snaffled, but if the government expects the private sector to play by the rules of fair pricing, maybe they should look in the mirror. Could the government that's overcharging pull an insolvency and avoid charges by resigning? That too could be a very welcome outcome. They will argue that the penalty acts as a deterrent. No, it doesn't. But it does show that a company can do illegal things to get rich quick, then just avoid accountability by filing for insolvency. So well done Asic et al. To date, there's been no action taken against the individual directors involved. Is spending time to fake sue an insolvent business a good use of resources? Is it a deterrent? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, links in the description below, and thanks for watching.